EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this New Year's Day matchup. It's the Dolphins and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
They just gave up the sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McClellan. Going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep for Miami, Jalen Waddle. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Gaskin again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A play fake for Gaskin. Now Tua. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Tua. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. On play action. Here's Tua. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. This is Gaskin on the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They stop it for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Oh, you're impressed,
yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A give. This is Cook. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Back to throw. McClellan. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on 1st down. McClellan lets it fly for Thielen. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
To throw on 3rd down. McClellan. And that will be incomplete. Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down. And McManus able to put it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Miami set to take over. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here's Gaskin. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Tua. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
The Dolphins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He's going to wind up and air it out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Taking it about the 16. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left and end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball. But surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And so much of being a good tackler is understanding and taking the right angles to a ball carrier. And that was just tremendous straight line speed there. He eliminated the angles and was able to meet his man behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, McClellan. And complete, right side to Cook. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll run now with Gaskin. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
He's going to float this one deep right side.
And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls is incomplete.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here's Tua. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell.
Touchdown, Dolphins! Devontae Parker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Vikings 3.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Kenedawagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On 1st and 10, McClellan. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Touchdown! Irv Smith Jr. with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings on just 2 plays have taken the lead.
I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. Tua now on 1st down. He gets this complete to Shaheem, the tight end. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Shaheen, the tight end on the right side. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return is Peterson. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, McClellan. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, McClellan. He's going to let it go again. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, They'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, McClellan. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Off play action. McClellan. He'll let this go for the end zone. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. McManus's point after is good, and the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, Barney, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Another run with Gaskin. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. He'll get this out wide to Gaskin. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up fourth down. Sanders' kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Gets around him. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there out of Cook. Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Gaskin again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your pro? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. McClellan. That is caught by Thielen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. McClellan. Buying time to his left. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Back to throw. McClellan got an open man, finding Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking to pass. Tua. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
And this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now left side on the swing pass. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Tua setting up shop to throw again. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 60 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Gaskin. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Gaskin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts this lead down to 13.
Dolphins 17.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. That one looks like he'll throw here. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run on first down. Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And McManus able to put it through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 16. A minute 16 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Tua to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. Here's Tua. And they will get back to within one score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the fourth. And hold the phone now. This game isn't over yet.
Not at all. Now, get the football back. That's the first thing. However you do it, get the ball back and then manipulate the clock with your offense because you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's pretty.
That's what happens when you're a good player.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. McClellan. Flushed out right. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in the premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people love this game. It was a whole baseball game to 14-11. 3 or 4 runs mixed in.
So for the Vikings, they get just their 3rd win of the season to up their mark to 3-13.